Hello, people. This is Will coming to you again. It's been a while. What? Honestly, I can't even remember if I've done a video from my apartment here in Ugikubo, but here I am. I'm living in Tokyo now, and it is May 26th, and I am officially 30 years and 10 days old. That sounds really weird saying, but I am 30. I had a pretty awesome birthday weekend. My girlfriend took me to dinner, and what else did we do? Spent a lot of time walking around trying to find this place. We went to this really cool Mexican restaurant. I can't even remember the neighborhood that it's in, but it was quite a walk and well worth it. We found it, and it was like on the very, very top of this building. It was like a penthouse Mexican restaurant, and the prices were really good, and the food was excellent. It wasn't like, it wasn't real Mexican food, not like, at least not what I'm used to. With being from Texas and New Mexico, it wasn't exactly Mexican food, but it was really good nonetheless. They had these really delicious like tempura avocado things with salsa that were tasty, and they had tequiza, not tequiza. Why I can't not tequiza? That doesn't sound right. Whatever, the freaking Mexican beer in the red can. I can't say it right now. Anyways, they had that. It was like 500 yen a bottle, which seems pretty reasonable for a restaurant, and especially being like an import beer. I don't know. They just seemed cheap, and they were really nice. They got my order wrong, and then they fixed it and didn't charge us, which was awesome. So that was kind of cool. I've just been really tired lately. Like I think I'm just starting to get really stressed out about a lot of things. I moved to Tokyo, and then I didn't have a job for about a month, and which not having a job is great because you have all kinds of free time to do other stuff. But not having income is very stressful, and I kind of messed up my finances a little bit, and so right now I'm kind of just scraping by, which is not exactly fun. And then it's just a lot of people don't talk about it because we're all just kind of trying to live our lives. But the fact of the matter is, we do live in an area that has suffered a rather traumatic natural disaster and nuclear reactor breaking down and all that. And it's like I still read about that, and it's just news isn't always as good as you hope it to be. And whenever these kinds of things happen, it's like you always have the pre and the post sort of timeline in your mind. Like I can remember very well how I used to feel living in America pre 9/11, and then how I felt living in America post 9/11. Like I worried about things post 9/11 that I never thought about pre 9/11. And part of that comes with getting older, but I don't think in my 20s I would have been nearly as politically inclined or interested in politics had it not been for 9/11. Like that really kind of woke me up and made me start paying attention to things a lot more in a very different way. And just there was this kind of anxiety in the whole country that was just kind of prevalent, and the like median baseline anxiety level of your average America like went up after 9/11, and the same thing happened here with 3/11 with the Tohoku earthquake. When I think about how carefree I was living in Japan pre-Tohoku earthquake compared to now, it's different. I'm still very happy to live here, and I love Japan, but it's different. Things have definitely changed. So there's that, and then I did start a job though. I started at the end of last month. I got this job at English teaching school, and it's been good. It was stressful for a little while getting used to it. It's a very different kind of style of teaching than I'm used to, and that was kind of hard for me to get adjusted to. And wearing this monkey suit every day is definitely an adjustment. I'm rebelling though. I'm not ironing my shirts. or my pants, which is probably bad. But I sit down most of the day. I really don't think people notice. I mean, I'm sure subliminally or on some level people are aware of the fact that my clothes are not ironed, but I really don't care. Like I can't get to that point where I'm ironing my clothes every day. It just drives me crazy. And then on top of all that, like I said, I have a girlfriend, which is kind of an old thing, new thing. But I don't know. I don't really talk about that kind of stuff on here, so I'll just leave it at that. But it is a good thing, so that's cool. And I'm kind of just rambling, so I'll just end with this. So I was walking home today, and I kind of came to this realization that it's really interesting how we, and this is going to be totally divergent from everything I just was talking about. I think it's really interesting how we humans find ourselves to be. I think most of us would agree that we're not perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. No offense, but you're probably not perfect, and that guy over there is probably not perfect. My neighbor's not perfect, and that's fine. We can all get behind that. It's like, yeah, whatever. We all make mistakes, sure. Nobody's perfect. But then when it comes to ideas and the things that we believe in, for some reason, those things are like infallible. Like, if you're Christian, if you're actually like a true, maybe you have to be fundamentalist, but if you're like a real serious Christian, it's like it becomes uncomfortable when people start to question those things. Or if you're a real staunch Democrat or Republican, and people question you on your core values, that's not okay. Like, but the thing is that all these ideas are constructs that were created by men. Democracy doesn't exist in the universe, in nature. We created that. So one would think that creation would be as fallible as its creators, right? But then for some reason, when it comes to issues and like hot button topics, suddenly things become very black and white. It's not like, oh, well, maybe, abortion might be okay in some cases, but not in others. It's like, no, it's either right or wrong for someone to have the choice to, have an abortion. Or, that's just one example. Or for same-sex couples to marry, or for America to be engaged in, military actions in Iraq, Afghanistan, and a slew of other countries. These things, like, we created them, everything we see, this laptop, this shirt, this tie, I mean, this collar. Why do I have a collar? Some man or woman drew this and then created it. It came forth from some person's mind into reality and was born. But then we just accept that collars are a good thing. We accept that tie. I don't even know, why do we wear ties? What does this symbolize? I'm sure there must be meaning behind this. It's not just to provide color to my shirt. It must have some symbolic meaning. Somebody made this for a reason. We accept these things as arbitrary truths in our daily lives, but they're not. And it just really kind of blew my mind. I was just thinking about this on my way home, that like the streets, why are streets the way they are? Like, they're in Japan, everywhere you see these little yellow bumpy treads on the side of like on sidewalks, and it's to kind of, I don't know if it's for blind people or if it's just to kind of like provide traction or what, but some dude or woman, dudette, there was a need for something, and that was their idea, and they made it, and it worked, or it worked well enough to suit their needs, and then that was it, and no more ideas were needed after that. I guess they found one that worked, and they just went with it. So I guess my point is that, like, it seems like we're not, and I'm sure there are people who do this, and I'm just a lowly English teacher, so I don't know the inner workings of the world, but I wonder if there are people who are constantly challenging these things, like, the best shape for a soda can, or the best way to distribute grain over the across the globe. Like, are we doing things the best that we can? Like, is there a lateralness to art creation, you know, to these ideas. Can we find a better way? And if we do discover a better way, can we implement it? Are people willing to do this? I don't know. Anyways, if anybody wants to have this conversation, let me know. I would like to talk about it more. But that's it for me. I have my glasses off because there's glare, and so I can't even see anything. There's like a little green glowy thing that I can look at, but I can't. Everything else is a blur. So I don't know how long this has been. Probably 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Anyways, so that's it for that. Oh, I've been last thing. I have been trying to do as much stand-up as possible. Right now in Tokyo, there's not a huge scene for stand-up, English-speaking stand-up. If you speak Japanese, there's a bit more of a market, but for us English speakers, there's not a huge scene here. So at most, I can perform three times a week, or a month. Sorry, 3 times a month. 4 if I'm lucky, and I really kind of, you know, I have to go to some extra stuff if I want to do 4, but I can do like 3 usually, no problem. I was talking to my friend Dave back in San Francisco. That guy does 3 to 4 a week, and that's like with a full-time job. So if he wasn't working, he could probably, or if he was working part-time, he could be doing even more. And so I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, I really love doing stand-up, and I want to get better at it, and I need to spend more time writing. I'm working on that, but it's just like, it's difficult to get the practice time in, you know? Like, it's one thing to practice in my room or in front of my girlfriend or whatever, but, you know, to really kind of interact with an audience and to be around other stand-up comedians is really what you need to grow. And that was just something it's one of those things that's like, it kind of makes me feel a little bit like, okay, maybe it's time to leave Japan, you know? Like, kind of might need to go find someplace else to grow a little bit. I've been here 2 years almost, so hey, you know, it's been a great adventure. So anyways, we'll see. That's it. Cutting it off. Thanks for watching, and I'll try and post another video soon. Cheers.